Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the new channel, here to help you see the new you. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo, the host of this wonderful program, the HR Hotline. Maray na aga. Good morning. Maayong buntag sa iyong mga tanan. It's a wonderful day. The sun is shining. I just finished my routine, which is, what do you call this, sweeping actually the street in front of my residence, walk with my dogs, and look after my plants. You know, I'm doing that to balance my life. As Dan Magallanes, a friend of mine, texted me this morning, Despite the pandemic, I think little by little the economy is recovering because he was telling me that he may not be able to attend because he's going to have meetings. Same here. Same here. It's actually answered prayers that as an happy retiree and as somebody who is, what do you call this, enjoying the second career as an HR and training consultant, I have I have lots of projects now. That's why I sleep early morning. I have a family advised me that I should sleep when it reach when the alarm uh, triggers my sleeping time. Anyway, this is the season 6 episode ender. So I will have the required 1 week break to look for sponsors, and then I will resume on the anniversary week of the new channel. I posted it in my Facebook, and a lot was congratulating me as a host or the show for uh, a year of what do you call this, running, in the running. But actually, I joined TNC weeks after. I think it's around May 23 or or a month after. But yes, we are celebrating the first year, and it is a feat. It is an accomplishment. Despite the pandemic, we were agile. We what we call this. We did what are the available things to the what are the available technology, resources, and talents, and we have the new channel. And I am fortunate enough. I was invited to run a challenging slot, which is actually lunchtime. I am competing with GMA and ABS, and I'm competing with the food. But I like it because it's not the live stream that matters, it's sharing it and watching it later. And I like it. It is something that is unique, that you have a sort of a talk show, but something that is light, but something that is substantial, while taking your lunch. Ayan. Ayan. Now for this season ender, this is to be uh, an episode for consultation. Actually, the one that is consulting, I got it from my chat group and including myself. Okay, we have 3 topics for today. One of which is actually what are the skills that the human resource, the employees, the rank and file should have now. And to continue, what will be the competencies that will that should be developed or that should be taught to the leaders, the frontline supervisors. And then lastly, before we close, I have this question because I have been noticing a lot of people now, they have appended after the names, letters, and I'm sure these are certifications. I would just like to know your thoughts. Do certifications matter? Okay, I will start. Who are the people in the house? We have your Gemma Duki. Yes, Gemma, congratulations. You were wonderful yesterday as the host and MC. You know, there is a difference between being an MC and being a host. You have to invite me to give you a a webinar on this. There is a moderator, an MC, a host, and a moderator. At the onset, you were an MC. Then at the second part of the GMM, we are already doing what is supposed to be a host. You know, there are people that we know that there are really great hosts, and there are actually some people we know that they are great MCs. Okay. Then we have Errol Pialogo. Yeah, Errol, I love your Facebook profile. No, no, no. You don't look like Secretary Locsin. You look like somebody, one of those Korean telenovela leading men. Errol is a friend of mine from way, way back. Thank you for joining. And Lay Lim, Lay, they didn't know that you were my students and you are still. Now, there is a formal arrangement with Lay and I because I am going to be her mentor. Lay, you have to add the name THOR, Thor Mentor. Then we have Lynn Ontiveros. Oh, wow, Lynn. Welcome in the house. Thank you. I need your insights later on. And of course, the wonderful FPM and HR consultant like me in Jensen, Mr. Ismael Sally Jr. He's a friend. We are in the same generation, and you know, with June Sally, the time that there was face to face, and I am in Jensen, we have what you call quality time. We just sit down and talk. That is what I like. You know what I miss with my Pima friends? Mr. Barry of Iligan, June, and Rachel of Davao, and Rick Bayaw of Baguio. These are guys wherein we seldom it's their friends because as we defined it, when we met, it's quality. It's quality. It's my feeling was just like Jose Rizal with the Tertulias, Jose Rizal with Blumentritt. You know, it's nice feeling to have friends who are in it's not functional, it's not even emotional, but there is what you call the alignment because your interests are actually the same. Similar with PP Obet, there is actually an emotional relationship. And then with PP Jerry, it's actually a mentor me. I always consider PP Jerry the greater person than myself. Ay, mga ganun mga makukuha. And then we have Lara Diana. Thank you for joining us, Lara. Lara is with Pops, and Lara is also a person who is now venturing into that industry, the world of public speaking. I am supporting you, Lara. And then we have here Chair Belser. Okay, from Panikitarlac. Okay. Okay. So I just hope some of our friends are here. I will start. The first question is actually on what are the basic work skills that, let me call it, hindi to panglalait, the rank and file should be trained or practice, adapt, an A, adopt with an O now. I will start. One of it might be is completed staff work. This is an old practice. I can still remember when I was starting with government. Mr. Santa Maria, Bobby Santa Maria, our boss, taught us that, or what do you call that, trained us. But I got it also when I was in that organization, the Student Assistance Committee under George Revilla, the then George Revilla, wherein when you are assigned a task, it should be completed staff work. Nowadays, people, there are a lot of silos, and then they're so bounded with what you call their job descriptions, and sometimes their KRAs, that they don't actually do things that are not stated or beyond it. Now, I am one that has been trained on the completed staff work. So I think that is one skill that employees must have now. Why? We are now on the AWA, alternative work arrangements. We are now at home. So that means you don't have somebody to help you. You have to be the first one to look for your ball pen, the clerical thing, the 5S, the, the what do you call this? What do you, curating what you have done. Putting it in folders, crystallization, coming up with your with your ideas, and then coming up with your report, editing it, and then sending it. So it should be completed staff work. O kayo, what can we get from our the friends that we have here in the house, in the chat box? Lara, I think, Lara, this is actually later on. Later on. We'll read this later on. Okay. This is the last topic. We are still on the topic of what are the basic skills. But we can say competency, attitude, skills, and knowledge. But we have to focus it on the skill. Can we have your insights, June? Yes, Ophel. Yes, my friend Ophel here. Can we spot on Ophel? Good morning, my friend. The general population under the current normal can benefit from following: managing personal change. That's 1. 2, resilience. That is AQ. 3, time management. 4, using virtual work tools. 5th, collaboration. And 6, work-life integration. Can we hold it there direct? Because I would like to discuss what Ophel shared with us. Yes, 1 is managing personal change. That is a skill now that should be taught, and that is a skill now that employees in general must quickly adopt it. I think, Ophel, what we can say here is flexibility is the name of the game. Flexibility is the competence of the new normal. You don't have to fret, rant, blame anybody if you're working alone, if you're working at home, and there is somebody you need. Oh, Google is a friend. And then you must have friend, asynchronous and synchronous. And it must actually, Ophel, it should actually be coming from the person himself to reach out. That is the difference with the face-to-face. You have to wait for instructions, and you have to wait for your supervisors to tell you things. Now that you're working alone, it's the other way around. You have to seek for instructions. I love that. Number 2 is resilience. That is AQ. That is actually the antidote for ambiguity. Yes. So things are not really that perfect when you are given the task, but you have to be resilient. You have to be happy doing it, be able to do it despite all the obstacles. And the one is time management. Yes, time management here. I know, Ophel, you are a certified COVI mentor. We can ask Ophel to do that for us. Ako naman, I do it in one of my modules. time management here is the essence. Of course, you must have time to rest, but it's actually, let us go back to the last one, which is actually work-life integration. You must be, actually, the answer here for time management is efficiency. Efficiency. It's actually putting your life in sync with time. Just like I am now on a live stream, I was able to already to send an email, but before that, I was already able to walk with my dogs, sweep the street, and then put all my air plants into to the basin. So I am putting my life in sync with the time that is given me. But I am catching, because I am doing now 3 webinars. I have done already 2 that is actually for Lazal, and that this is actually a job hunting talk, and then another one for Dean Gloria. Then using virtual work tools, I think this is one. But uh, Zillennials and millennials are actually savvy as far as tools. Can we go back to Ophel? I'm not yet finished kay Ophel po. So they know, but I think Ophel, what should be taught here, which is why I would like to be back, is actually the total online presence dimensions, the components of total, because a lot are actually savvy with technology, but they don't know the required etiquette, manners, and how to use the tools. And then, of course, collaboration. Dapat sana before talagang katakot-takot, the team alignment, team building, because that is most needed now. Remember, communication, collaboration, coordination, cooperation, and synergy. After communication, collaboration is actually needed. So we have here, after Ophel, we have here, I'm looking at Jerry Plana. Si Errol, kay Errol muna. Errol, basic skill for rank and file, being tech savvy. Yes, Errol, that's right. We have to not only the tools, but how to use it. Just like, say, the Zoom has been there, but up to now, a lot of people are not actually savvy on how they're going to use the Zoom. Good thing. The Gen Z, the next generation in the workforce, are into this. Not surprising, even toddlers can easily open apps in the gadgets like TikTok and even take selfie. Actually, it's coming up with ways on how we are going to. It's not that the tools will abuse us. It's us going to use them. Then we are going to. Can we have Jerry? Oh, this is exciting. Human skills should be emphasized as intelligent machines take over many jobs. Right. Si Jerry, one sentence lang ang lalim. Human skills. And this is actually the agility. This is actually the what do you call this? The soft skills, the global skills, agile thinking, human skills, because this is now the collaboration between man and machines. Just like you say, data-driven HR, data-driven decision-making, wherein you use your HRIS, your CRM, but how are you going to deliver it? How are you going to say it? That is the matter, which is why Jerry here is telling us that there should be what you call the human skills. But Jerry, help us try to identify what are these human skills. Then we have Lara Diana. Can we spot on Lara? Yes, Lara here for a rank and file peeps. Since I like that Lara peeps talaga, ha? Since nowadays, demographics-wise, majority of Gen Z covering the big chunk, the rank and file employees. Yes. Okay. So more on the skills of the younger generation. Ophel, right. Can we spot on Ophel? Right. Flexibility and stress management. Yes. Ophel, talaga si Ophel at si Jerry, you get a lot of insights. Yung sinasabi nilang mental health, good mental health problems, actually it's stress problems. And na found out ko, not the rank and file. Actually, yung burangot, the one affected are the leaders, which is why they open up that there is actually what you call mental health issues, actually they cannot cope with the pressure of managing or supervising online or virtually. Naku, Fel and Jerry, let's have a collaboration on this. Then let's go to Jerry Plana, my dear friend Jerry Plana. Um, we used to say we should be more customer focused. Then we started using customer care, the customer intimacy. Next, we will say love your customers. We are moving to a more human skills. Yung pala. Jerry, tell me, this is actually, again, following the IIP, Investors in People framework. Tell me, ha? So that we can, itong sinijoin natin ni Jerry, if you can actually afford consultancy from IIP, kasi tinan mo lumalabas, do so. Kasi tingnan mo, ang tinatanong natin is that the skills, technical. Pero ang pinasok ni Jerry is human. And then I really thought the soft skills. Pero ang pinasok ni Jerry is actually the customer. So I'm now curious if these are actually part of the IIP framework. And this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Kasi yun ang dapat kailangan. I think even that, Jerry, if I'm correct, customer services is internal and external customers, and which is actually being missed in a lot of organizations. Diba? Yung para bang, now that you're working from home, dapat you have to treat your colleagues as customers. I love that, Jerry. I love that, Jerry. So this should be taught. Then we have Ophel. Kobe prefers to call it effectiveness, efficiency, plus relationship. Thank you, Ophel. So it's effectiveness, efficiency, plus, nga naman, kasi malay mo naman you're so efficient and say cooking, then when you cook, nobody, actually they're still all asleep. Or ikaw naman, you would like to do something and you would like to ask your significant other, your husband, your wife, or your children to do other things for you, then because you have bad relationship with them, hindi ka pinakialaman. So, actually, hindi ka effective in your, what they call, time management. Diba? Yung Q2 Ophel, diba? I can still remember that one in COVIS, which is Q2. Ophel is a certified trainer, facilitator of COVID. Then we go to Lara Diana. Lara, for this matter, Gen Z may undergo a personal accountability training and coaching sessions, since in majority of them have the tendencies to hop from one company to another. Effective coaching will guide them to shape their career path and aspiration. I agree with you, Lara. Personal accountability. I think that is what is missed. You know, there are a lot of the traditional one. You talk about delegation, then you talk about responsibility, authority. What is actually missed is accountability, and then we go beyond it is the personal accountability. Na para bang nag-apply ka eh. When you were looking for a job, what were you looking at? Looking for? You were looking for a job. And now that you have a job, you don't want to be burdened. You don't want to be accountable. I love that, Lara. Nakaw na pa seryoso mo ako, Lara. Then we have Mr. Wanlu. Wanlu is one of the hosts in the new channel. Watching from San Francisco, California. Maibala. He's a friend. Wanlu has this, what do you call this? Wanlu nung nga tawag doon, puppeteer. Then we have Jennifer Nuya. Jennifer is a dear friend of mine. Sometimes we even text in the wee hours of the morning. Personal effectiveness competencies, which include professionalism. Na-miss na yan talaga, Jennifer. I think that should be one module that should be taught. Yung ano ba talaga ang professional? Correct me if I'm wrong, Cherry, kasi this is my take on professionalism. Is actually, professionalism is achieving what is expected from you. Para bang singer, di ba? How will you, matutuwa nito si February, kasi ganoon ako mga analogy. How will you consider a singer as a professional? When she sings, hindi dapat disintonado. So, when she sings prepared with proper expression, she achieves what is expected from her, then she becomes professional. Not even a degree, not even a certification that we'll discuss later on. A professional must achieve what is expected from her. Dependability, yes. Yun na yun yung accountability and reliability. I think that should be taught. A lot of people now wherein, they leave the group. This is actually one of the negative mindset that is being taught by the social media, that if you don't like it anymore, you leave the group. So you are not dependable. Or the more that you parang, I am far, I cannot do it, I am helpless, I cannot really help, then you are not reliable. The flexibility and lifelong learning. Right, Jennifer. We hire for attitude and train for skill. If the rank and file employees is not coachable. So dapat ituturo doon na teachable sila. A lot of young people, they don't want to be taught anymore. Diba? I would like to use the word teachable. I got it from, I don't know, from somebody. Kasi, and this is a joke, ha? Yung train daw are for dogs. Sa isang speaker sa dogs. I say whisperer. For people, learn, teachable. And yung iba, trainable. Well, anyway, that is actually a joke. Can we go to Jennifer again? Jennifer, it is of paramount importance that everyone in the company possesses business acumen o dapat turuan pa on the onset kagad. They must understand how their job adds value to the company bottom line. Right. Kasi may oras, even in the induction, in the orientation, or in the onboarding, this is actually what is missed. Yung that I don't know if it is a skill or what do you call that? Yung business acumen, but that is a skill. Yung entrepreneurship. Yung gaya na lang ba, I did this in Inquirer. Yung little things, yung parang when you use the water, when you use the lights, yung turning off the lights or turning off your computer, di ba? Being entrepreneurial. You have that mindset that you are the owner of the firm. And of course, the contribution also. That the growth of the company depends on your performance. And of course, their growth, yung disconnect eh. Their growth, wala namang kumpanya siguro na it is actually profiting and it will not share. Ang inaisip kasi, ay sila lang ang yumayaman. That universal, grievance of the rank and file that they are being used. Yan parang Le Miserable. Hindi naman. Then, we have Jennifer Nuya. Again, can we spot on Jennifer? Additional sustainability practices not only for the company, but for the greater environment. Hello, Mr. Ryan Navarro from Davao. Can we spot on Chong Ryan? Magandang tanghali. Greetings mula PB. I'll be late from coming in your live episode. Anyway, welcome. Okay, so magbe-break na tayo for the first. What an engage. Thank you, Jerry. Do not leave. I'm waiting also for PPO. But, these are things we have to share this because HR people must know this, leaders must know this, that hindi yung the usual traditional things that we teach. And the worst is, listen to this, sometimes we miss learning and development interventions to the rank and file. Kasi ang sabihin natin, nag-onboarding na. They still have to show their effort. And then sometimes, papasok na yung succession planning. And they are not actually performers. They are not actually potentials. So, they are not selected for training programs. At parati lang lumalabas sa mga taga-HR o parang ma-approve. Kukuha ka ng isang taga-accounting. Joke. Pero yung entire rank and file sometimes missed. Unless maganda yung gaya na ginagawa ni Ophel, yung onboarding. na nakikita ko yung sa ACOM. Pero kung hindi, left talaga yan. Left. So, mayroon ng attrition or sometimes the practice becomes a habit, diba? And the habit becomes institutionalized. Sad to say, a lot of government agencies like that. And a lot of private companies are like that. Kaya nga ako tinatawag Alam mo ba ako kinukuha nila? Kasi sabi nila, Sir Jess, we know a lot of facilitators, but we know it's only you at your age and at your stature can really tell things. Oh, gusto pala nila na I don't mince words. Sabi nga ni Femery, the brutal facts. Oo nga naman. There are a lot of other facilitators that are very goody-goody. They don't want to hurt. Pero ako, it's not, I'm not hurting, I'm not shaming or not bullying. Sinasabi ko talaga, diretso. Kasi sino magsasabi dun sa rank and file na talagang why is it that you are not going beyond your role? And then sabihin natin yung sinabi ni Jennifer. And then you don't have any impact. You may have results, but what is the outcome and the impact? So yun. Arman Gutierrez. Yes, I invited Arman. Arman is actually the current president of PulseCon. Arman, you will be one of the guests come the 7th season. The 7th season. Yes. And then we have Hilda Cardenas. Resilience is now important on all job levels. Kaya nga sinabi ko nga, flexibility is actually needed. Yes. Congratulations also, Hilda. Huh? Hilda, yes. For that wonderful presentation yesterday. Iba yung kanyang presentation. Ang nakikita ko, which again, sa next, when we come back, these are now the competencies of the leaders, pero mag-start ako kay Hilda. Very innovative, creative, and innovative. And I think those are the things missed before. So, allow me to have the first break. Direct, and we have the first break. Don't go away because we will have exciting topics to be discussed. Yes. Welcome back. Wonderful conversations for the season 6 episode ender. So let's have some of those that we need to promote. The first one is that one of Pana. Can all of us view their video? Direct, can we have the video? As mentioned, it is actually our honor and a pride that for 1 year we're celebrating our anniversary. That's the TNC. And then we are now a member of PANA. There is a Youth Creativity Festival on April 29, and it's actually today. Actually today. Then, as I mentioned also, there will be a 7-day live streaming shows from May 9 to 15. And then on the 15th, it's a 24-hour non-stop live stream. Actually, I'm the one in charge of the mass at 7 o'clock on May 15. And then, wonderful, my seventh season will also have its launch on May 11. So I want you to be there so that we can celebrate. It is something that of an accomplishment that a live streaming um, organization has been there for a year. And just to think about it, you have to multiply 18 times 6. Those were the guests that I had, including you, who are actually some more than that. Actually, what you call this the champions, the HR hotline champions. Can we also have some posters that I would like? Yes, I would like you to. Oh, thank you. 108 episodes. Thank you. And these are so what I can see here as PP Obet and then Secretary Bello. Then you just look for those people who have been my guests. Just try to look for your face. I will ask the staff to send me this picture, and I will send it to you. And I'm so proud of it because we are part of a community. These are the HR people. I'm looking at the statistics, the analytics of the show. There is already a community of around 400, or actually, they patronize the show. And I would like it because this is actually directed to the HR community. And I love it. So we are sharing in what you call, sinabi nga ni Gilbert, advancing HR. Advancing HR. Sinabi ni Pipi Bong is actually taking care of our ranks, that looking into what is actually the true north of the industry. And sabi nga ni Femery sa PSTD, nobody should be left behind. So you guys, my guests, are actually the people who are actually, you go beyond of your of your of your job just to share. Diba? Okay, can we have the other posters? One is I am also um, promoting I am a facilitator. I have this for ECOP, the Effective Succession Planning and Management on May 18. If you're interested, join us. This is very interesting. It's because it really leads to a lot of realization that you need to have requirements, preparatory programs before you can actually go into this. And that is actually the purpose of that training. Then the other one is the annual conference of PMAP. This is to support the Vice President, Ellen Folido. And already budget tagad na. This will be on July 28th. And you know why I'm so engaged? Because Executive Director Rene and then the Programs Committee Head, PP Bong Ostero, assigned me to facilitate the integration of the three PMAP regional summits, and it will be synchronized with the national conference. Yun. That's why I'm so engaged. And I'm doing marketing too. Then this one, on June 24, PMAP has what you call this, an online job fair. Don't forget also, I am still part of Inquirer, and Inquirer also has its online job fair. So let's go back to our discussion, and we still have many guests in the chat room. The second one is from the basic skills of rank and file. Let's not now go into the supervisors and managers. Actually, that is the problem now. What are the competencies that should be taught that they must have now? Let me start. I think competencies that it's actually preparing them to whatever. Can we have your insights from Hilda to Pipi Cherry? We are now focusing on the leaders. Of course, resilience, both. As I'm reading that one given by Hilda. What in particular should the competencies that leaders must have? Of course, maybe technical savviness must be there also. But there should be some other competencies that Ophel, can you help me? What should be taught? What should be trained to leaders? Okay? Wow! 2 words lang kay Hilda. Leading change. Yes. And I think, Hilda, this is not the traditional change management. Kasi I've done that before. And I've seen it, it's not a traditional change management. The leading change here must already factor in the VOCA and what is coming. What is actually being felt, leading change. Yes, that is why I've told you yung sinabi ko kanina na, Hilda, na the problem on mental health issues. Actually, the leaders are the ones who cannot cope with the stresses. Then we have Aaron. Ang matalino kong kaibigan na si Aaron. For me, simply lead by example. Oo nga, which encompasses other traits. So, dapat Aaron, i-emphasize yung tinatawag natin na leading by example. Leading by example. You really have to make sure that, pwede ba, Errol, yung sinatawag na executive presence? Yung executive mindset, executive presence, na para bang you must actually act your role. Diba? Act your role as a leader. Kasi there are a lot na talagang, Diyos ko, I am not being political, but you can read between my statements. Mayroon mga taong na parang nagbe-baby. Yung parang bang it is not expected from your role. Na yung parang bang ikaw ay childlike. Childish. Diba? Ano maganda? Childish o childlike? Ophel, ikaw. Yan mga tanong natin, Ophel. I would like to look youthful, pero hindi childish. Yes, right. Simply led by example. Just imagine kung ikaw yung leader ngayon, ikaw yung nag-leave the group, nag-fret, may mga facial expression o drama. Ophel, can you spot on Ophel? I am enjoying this conversation. Many similar to the rest of the population, managing remotely. Right. Si Ophel talaga, nako. Managing remotely. Managing change still. Coaching, dapat tuturuan na coach. Kasi Ophel yan yung na-miss eh. Hindi naturuan yung mga mag-coach. Much more that they're now on Zoom or in the virtual platforms. Hindi na marunong mag-coach. And then collaboration. Kasi madali yung face-to-face. Ngayon ang hirap mag-collaboration eh. Kaya nga, Fel, I was trying to delineate the difference between mentoring and before and coaching. Kasi nahirapan sila ngayon kung ano dapat ang gagawin. Then resilience, innovation, and leveraging on virtual tools. What you have. Thank you. So, Mr. Ismael Sally, yes, what do we have here? Leadership must be good communicator. Yes, we still have to go, but not siguro, June, yung basic, yung feedbacking, ganon. A leader can give clear instruction. So this is more, tama ka, this is more now on specific communication here, yung sinabi ni Ophel last time, yung 1-minute manager, yung sandwich, they should really be parang taught how to use it, how to use all this intervention and use their yung good communication skill on that. Actually, it's more of, correct me, Ophel, sa DDI, merong tinatawag si Jerry siguro alam, yung interactive or interaction management. Dapat, yan ang ituturo ngayon doon sa mga leaders. Na it's not only that you're good in your grammar, good in your, it's actually on how you deliver it. And then the change in the delivery because you're using a different platform. Yes, so Lay, yung aking mentee, strategic agility. Lay, ang lalim naman ha. Can you define what you mean by strategic agility? What I'm taking from it is that you're agile but you are not strategic. O di ba naman, di ba? Agility is actually being first, being fast. Pero may limang, nauna ka kumuha sa isang community pantry, nauna ka kumuha, you're so fast in getting it, hindi naman strategic. Ang kinuha mo, ay hindi pang hindi pang pinakbit. Kasi dun sa kakakuha mo din sa community pantry, nakakuha ka ng repolyo at nakakuha ka ng ng tawag nito, ng pipino. Pero ang naisip mo, gagawin ka ng pinakbit. Tama? Ang talino ng aking mentee, si Lay. Siyempre, taga San Miguel. Strategic agility, yung pagiging agile mo, strategic ka rin. Uy, Lay ha, yung mga turo na Mr. Rebustillo. Malay mo, gusto ko talaga mag-asawa. Yung unang lalaking nakita mo, pinakasalan mo, hindi strategic. Tama ka. Then, offer, empathy facilitating virtual meetings. Right. Actually, yun ang sinasabi ko doon sa communication. Siguro, isasama doon sa communication is that portion of empathy. And everybody, empathetic naman ako. Pero dapat ituturo talaga. Kasi nag-grant na nagsabi na. Tapos hindi ka. Actually, it's your, sa psychology, it's your reaction. Yung ano nga tawag ng psychology, yung, psychology minor ako, pero hindi nakalimutan ko na. Well, anyway, it's your reaction. And then, of course, facilitating virtual meetings also. Hi, a lot of leaders, yung nagsasalita, hello, nandiyan pa kayo. Ano ba yan? And you know, yung aking complaint, na they're complaining about engagement. Ayaw na mag-open ng screens. Ay, ano ba yan? Jennifer, childlike is positive. Tama ba, Jennifer? Childlike is positive. Ano yung negative, Jennifer? Childish. Oo nga. So ako, Jennifer, childlike. Okay. Kami ni Ophel, childlike kami talaga, Jennifer. Pero hindi kami childish. Then we have Jennifer. Can you spot on Jennifer yung kanyang post? Management competencies, managing conflict. Oo nga. Nakalimutan yan. Kasi ang mga managing conflict na tinuturo, it's actually the union and then the hindi yung mga conflict na hindi, yung parang iniisip na conflict, nagsigawan na. No. Conflict can be just yung mga discrimination, yung mga managing the generational workforce. These are conflicting things. And team building. Actually, yung being an entrepreneur is actually a conflict. I think, Jennifer, managing paradoxes. The opposite things that's happening now. Then monitor, actually that's part of Dave Ulrich. Na tinuro yan sa akin ni Jerry. The one at the center of the competencies is actually managing the paradoxes. Managing the conflict that you have now. It's between cost or quality. Para bang ganun. Yung gusto mo magpa-training, pero gusto ka lang magbayad ng mababa. O di makakuha mo yan. If you pay peanuts, you got monkeys. Okay. Monitoring and controlling resources. Yeah. This is entrepreneurship. Resources here includes time, and resources here includes your effort, your input. Kasi may oras. I don't know if you feel it. Ophel, Jennifer, Warrior, June. Ako, a whole day of meetings and webinar, ay talagang pagod ako. It's not, I don't know if I am old already. Yung I don't know, during the time that it was face-to-face, I can have a series, 3 days training, I can do it. Superman pa rin. Ngayon, one day, ay talagang lupay pa. Hindi mo alam kung bakit. Is it because I do not have a backrest? I don't know. Okay. So, networking internally and externally. Yes. That is actually collaboration. Nowadays, there are a lot of things na, I tell you, yung pagbayad lang sa akin ng isa kong client, kaya matagal, what I learned, kasi kaibigan ko na yung kausap ko, nahihirapan daw siya doon sa finance department. Bakit? Kasi nga, sa face-to-face, pwede mo na lang sabihin, ngayon ang hirap eh. Yung parang, alam mo, just sorry kasi I still have to ask permission if I can call them. Are you listening to me? O yun na itong sinasabi ni Jennifer. Networking internally and externally. Kung talagang hindi maganda yung relationships niyo, yung parang, no, hindi naman nag-aaway, pero wala ka talagang, what they call this, hindi kayo nagkahulugan loob. Now that you're going to follow up things, ang hirap mo. Kasi you still have to go to the boss before you go to the return. Yung parang hindi ka makakadirect, tapos mag-direct ka, para mapapaalam ka pa. Hello, can I call? Siguro sinagot, what about? I'm washing the dishes. Hello, can I call about the payment? If payment, dapat 8 to 5. Mga ganun. Wala, kaya dapat tama ka, Jennifer. Then we have Femery. Just kasi Femery, paminsan-minsan lang niya nagsasagot. One of the realities we have to embrace is that jobs today will not exist sooner or later. Ay, sinampal tayo lahat ni Femery. Yet being said, one of the most critical skills of people leaders of today is the ability to design jobs that allow fluidity and flexibility. Yan. Tama. So yung mga talagang document it, your job description talaga. So babalik niya yung family yung performs other functions as deemed so that people can move across jobs in the organization. So it really needs a lot of HR audit, HR organizational redesigning. It's actually looking into not only the structure but the functions that it has to be flexible, and then the networking and relationships, and develop the skills necessary to perform and navigate these jobs. Ang lalim. Alam mo, Femery, thank you very much kasi I can craft a webinar on what you just presented. And this is it. You nailed it. It's to actually train leaders, most especially the executives. Yung ang change management na sinabi kanina ni, sino ba yung nagsabi? Ni Hilda ba yan? Na, ito, fluidity and flexibility from point A to point B so that people can move across the organizations. So this is actually going back, you really have to manage, again, sabi ni Jennifer, the paradox. Kasi one is that you like people to have their responsibility and be accountable to it, but also balance it that they have to be flexible in accepting new things as if we do not know. Thank you. Then we have Jennifer. Jennifer, very nice conversation. Jennifer, our number one goal as leaders is to develop other leaders, not more followers. Always keep succession planning in mind. Right. So it has to be a team effort that leaders must actually always at the back of their mind when they do things, coaching, mentoring, being a good example as mentioned. We are doing that because we are developing leaders from the ranks. And we remember Maxwell says that you have to develop leaders so that you can be pushed about. Then we have Charisse. Revisit basic KRA and KPI. Yes. Charisse. The thing, Charisse, is sometimes for the rank and file, which we discussed earlier, medyo na-follow. Yung KRA and KPI ng managers and executive, sometimes yan ang questionable. Kasi may oras, how they adopt it, how they they implement it, that is the question. Because they still do what they would like to do. Then we have Jamie. Jamie, welcome back. Jamie, I cannot pronounce your family name. Show appreciation, expressing gratitude to employees, boost morale, and help them endure during this pandemic. I think employees needs to hear thank you for the work they completed in the midst of COVID-19 crisis. So what is this? It is empathy. This is empathy. This is empathy. So one competency that should be taught to people now is really how to be empathetic. But this is easier said than done, Jamie. Kasi you cannot just define this. Ito yung sinasabi ni Femery. There are things that you cannot teach, but it is caught. Who will start doing this so that they can emulate? Then we have Jennifer Nuya. Jennifer, can we spot and thanks for highlighting this, Femery. It's about time we design jobs around our people's strengths and skills and not the other way around. Nako, this is really revolutionary. I need Pipi Jerry to help me here. Ang lalim ng dalawang babae, ni Femery at ni Jennifer. We have to redesign jobs around people's strength. Iba na to. So, this is not anymore on, say, if you know organizational design and structuring, you departmentalization, the function, and then you cascade it, divide it into the positions. Hindi na. Ang sinasabi rito ni Jennifer is look into the strengths and then go for it. Yes. Then we have who else? From Jennifer, we have Charisse. Adapt to the new normal to embrace responsibility to have the right balance. So this is more on mindsetting, conditioning people that have to leave behind the past and then adapt to the new normal. Charisse, I've been doing this. They are listening, but I am not sure if you use Kirkpatrick, there can be reaction, learning. I don't know if their behaviors are really changed. Because I've been doing this. I have a module on this, in my webinars. So nice. So nice that we are discussing the thing. Okay, can we have a short break, and after that we come back about the certifications. Direct, can we have a short break? Watching the video, I realized that aside from Lloyd is having a daily show, it's me who's actually having 3 shows in a week. Oh my God. Anyway, wonderful. And it's been a year that we have been on air. So let's go back to the last one. This is just around 10 minutes. So let us discuss it now. Can we spot on Charisse first before we continue? Charisse? Sometimes we need to adapt the how food industry does it. I show, I do, we do, you do. Find ways to improve them and evaluate. By the way, Lay, if you're still around, this is part of your mentoring. Can you transcribe what is actually there in the what is presented here? Um, Let me cut first. Somebody's trying to call me. Okay, Lay, can you actually thank you. Lay, can you actually transcribe what is that? Okay. Now the last topic is something that is I'm just curious. Nowadays, I have friends. I can see people having letters appended to the names. Sometimes I cringe. Even the Masters in Business Administration, the MBA, is added. And there are times the letters are even longer than the names. So I'm just curious if those certifications matter. Thank you, Femery, for checking my grammar yesterday. I was in a hurry that I had some lapses in what I sent you. So can I have your insights? Does it matter that you have certifications? Lara, you can you post again what you posted earlier? I know there is a certification program for public speakers that is actually the certificate in public speaking. I am an FPM, a fellow in people management, conferred by the PMAP fellow. Oh, what are your insights? Um, ay may sagot si Femery kay Jennifer. You're welcome, Jennifer. Agree with you, for which we need to adapt a new mindset altogether. Kaya nga, I know I am actually changing the slant, and then the flow, the framework of my webinars. Kasi it has to already consider what happened and what is happening. So let's go back to certifications. Um, does it really matter? Because I know a lot of people also who are seasoned and they don't have any letters appended to their names. When do you need it? Or when is it that you have to take it, diba? And then maybe what it is for? What is the purpose of it? I would like to get your insights. Because these are a little bit controversial statements. You may have the letters appended to your names, but you may not be actually, what do you call this, manifesting it, projecting it. Then, what are the letters for? So, yun ang tinatanong ko. Okay? Sabi ni Monica, can I have just your insights, one or two insights on the certification? Kasi we have to make it clear na ang point ko here is that for people who are appending letters, sana naman they actually perform what is expected from them. Kasi para bang maybe the letter is just for your resume, for your, what do you call that, prestige. Yeah, that is also another question, if the certification is prestigious. But I'm more after that if you proudly appends it, you must be able to, what do you call this, the burden of doing it. We have here from June. Yes, what is it, June? Can we spot on June? Yes, it matters. One is it command respect. Yes, of course. I usually ask FPM. It justifies that you have been taken postgraduate school for MBA, while FPM Society of Fellow will confirm you will for being HRM. Yes, it really matters. Yes. Thank you, June. What about Ophel? from observation of hiring practices, it would depend on the interviewers and the hiring managers. Those with certification appreciate this, and those who don't might put lesser value for those certifications. Yes, yan ang point ko, Ophel. Yan ang point ko, Ophel. Kasi I can see them. I can see a lot of speakers doing blogs and doing invited in speaking engagements, offering trainings, or in resumes. They append that. So that is actually my question. This is a little bit controversial, but we have to face the brutal fact. I know I even have friends who do certification, diba? What for? And the burden of those who are appending it into their names. Errol here, certifications, can we spot on Errol? Certifications adds up to our credentials, but must be able to make use out of it. Right, Errol? That is actually my point. That's actually my point. That when you append it, you must really have that burden of the integrity of actually walking the talk, that the certification is really a mastery of what you have taken. I'm looking for the right word. Then we have Jennifer Nuya. Good. Certifications are important because they show the level of academic discipline. Tama yun. Yeah. The person has to undergo. It also provides that she has achieved the expected level of proficiency. Yes. Kailangan din. Kailangan talaga yung certification. Kasi, although, diba, may mga ibang countries wherein, kahit na nga yung we call this a college degree, they don't do it. I know some in the West, very, very seldom that it is required. Dito sa Pilipinas kasi required eh. We have this, I do not know if it is colonial mentality, but it's not even done by the colonial countries wherein you really are after a degree and then after a postgraduate degree and some certification. But the point is, when you append it, there should be a responsibility that goes with it. Then we have Lay. Lay, my wonderful mentee. It only means that the person invests on their learning. Right. I know you are in the certification program of PMAP. Pero ang mahirap nga dyan, you have taken it, you pass it, but actually you don't do it. You're back to the traditional ways. Yan ang nakakatakot, Lay, di ba? Tinuturo natin doon, pagdating, balik pa rin. The problem now is, maybe it's now your, how you are reliable or how you are confident enough to share it into your organizations. That is one aspect also of certification. Nagpa-certify ka, tapos hindi ka naman pala diba? Nagpa-certify ka, pero hindi ka naman pala rinirespeto sa loob ng organisasyon mo. Nasusunod pa rin yung boss na mali. Yeah, tama ka dyan, Lay. So Jennifer, but sometimes, and then after this we close na. But sometimes it becomes obnoxious when people rely too often on their certification in order to command respect or assert authority. Spot on, Jennifer. I love you. Ito talaga ang point ko rito. Itong point ko. Kasi nga, I don't know where is the burden. Is it on the person or is it on the certifying body that after giving that letters, they must be able to practice it. Para bang doktor, may doktor nga dyan, may mga doktor na hindi pasado, mas magaling pa, o lawyers. May mga attorney, ito naman before the name, na mas, sabi ko, walang ka-logic. Mas lalo na yung certification. Kasi, alam mo, sa totoo lang, madali ngayon kumuha ng certification kasi online. If you have the budget for it, you can get one. Ako lang, kung bata-bata ako, kukuha ko. Ang dali-dali ngayon. And you can have it. But the problem is, yung ang dami na ngang letters, tapos hindi naman nagbago, Jennifer. Mabuti kung nagbago. Then we have Ryan. Yes, Ryan. Chong Ryan. Certification are necessary in order to elevate professional practice and to speakers' credibility. And then the last one, ay Ma'am Grace, bakit na late ka po? Ma'am Grace, Grace Ralios, she's one of my friend, a dear friend. Do all CEOs, business owners have certifications? Wala po. But they're competent. Oo naman po. I'm not in favor of money-making certifications. I love you, Grace. Pareho tayo talaga. Direct to the point. Brutal fact. We must couple these titles to actual work competence by solid experience. Yun, alam mo, we'll go back to this kasi wala tayong oras. You know, Grace, you're correct. Kasi ang daming may certification are actually millennials and zillennials. And nasaan yung experience? Can we go back to Ma'am Grace? Kasi the last sentence of Ma'am Grace Ralios, in which is, otherwise, it's simply a set of letters in the alphabet. I love this conversation. It's actually provoking. You know, when I do webinars just like Grace, it's not actually being goody-goody. You have to put something on somebody's mind and then think about it. Let us share all of this. This is not actually looking into, asking into certification. Of course, there are prestigious certifying body. I am very proud of my FPM, just like June Sally here. But you know, what I am a little bit worried, younger guys are having a lot of letters appended. And that is why the question, does it matter? Do certifications matter? Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, Pipi Jerry. Thank you, Grace, Ophel, Cherise, Jennifer, Ryan, who else? June, a lot of my friends, and of course my best friend, Femery, for joining me in this season ender. And it's nice. We started with what are the skills that the rank and file must have, and we discussed it extensively. Lay, I'm not joking. Try to transcribe this. And then we discuss about what competencies should leaders be taught and must have. And these are really new. I love it. Share this. And then the last one are about certification. And then spot on. The message is clear. I love what you discuss. Say, what is it? Thank you so much, Ipi Jesse. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a 1 week break. Then we'll be back on the 11th of May. It's actually the anniversary week of TNC. And then we'll make it nice. I may have you as all of you as guests. I'll try to ask the staff if we can be accommodated, how many can be accommodated in the screen for a live stream show. Then it will be fun and light. Salamat po sa lahat. This is one way of reaching you out and then being connected. Thank you for joining me every day. Take care and be safe. Diyos mabalus po. Ito si Jesse Francis Rebustillo.